Speaking of David Seymour, I've sent out a tweet today, and this is genuine, Chewie. See if you can guess what it is before I reveal it. And I've started
no.
off the tweet by saying I want to personally thank the ACT Party for.
I don't like it.
What do you think the ACT Party did that I thanked them for today?
Oh, God knows. What have
Well,
they done?
what they did. Oh shit! I haven't. This is what happens when you're 16 seconds and I haven't got my screen ready to share yet. Stay with me, kids. Down in a second. Here we go.
Like, isn't it
They
terrifying?
tweeted.
What
They
could they
tweeted
have
this
done?
out. They tweeted this out, and
Um,
I've said, without you, thank you for making me aware of this event. There's a chance that if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have known about it to now amplify on BHN and via my socials. Thanks for the mahi, David. So this is an event happening in Auckland on Saturday called Defying Destiny. It's got Dr. Emmy
it's a cool poster.
Rakti, Chloe Swarbrick, Reverend Mua Strickland, or Strickson, sorry, Pua, are going to be there. It's at 2 p.m. on Sunday, and I think I might actually see if I can jump on the live stream and see if anyone else is there on TikTok or whatever having a look at it during. So remember, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, probably Facebook as well, if you subscribe and also hit the notification bell, that means if I do go live on on Sunday at 2, you will be notified that BHN is going live. Because normally what happens is, handful of people have their TikToks and their TikToks and their Instagrams and that kind of stuff, live streaming, watching it, and we join in and jump in. So yeah, and of course this has set off a bit of, it's kind of hilarious, Chewie, and I'm not saying that we're fence sitters, but when we're fair and we talk about when we witness what looks like an assault at a Posey Parker event, all these people come to us and go, well, yeah, but what about Posey? And we're like, yeah. I'm not doing it like we sit on the fence so they can't do anything. But when you call it on balls and strikes, it's like people are now kind of going about the bashing, and everyone's, because it's an Albert Park as well, everyone's talking about Posey Parker, and it's like, well, it says the queers bash back. I'm sure they're not meaning literally, because Brian Tamaki is not going to be there. So what do you think they're going to be bashing if you think it was a physical act? So that's what everyone's saying, of course. All the people on the other side are like, oh yeah, so you're supporting violence, are you?
All of these concern trolls. I mean, this is the thing. One side's not allowed to use that talk. The other side, Destiny can talk about, charging the barricades and all of that sort of stuff. These nudge, wink, wink threats of violence that they do. That's fine. That's fine. That's acceptable. But somehow the people that they're targeting, the minority groups that they're targeting, can't use that language. I saw the same thing here in Dunedin when a friend of mine, Sam Ovens, did some phenomenal protest posters for Palestine. Right. And he used some imagery that people are like, oh, you can't have guns on there, you can't talk about resistance, you can't talk about struggle or that. It's like they're under attack. You can't concern troll this sort of stuff. Yes, I do not think that this is going to be a whole lot of queer folk with sledgehammers looking for a fight. But you can use that language of struggle, of fight, of physical action. There is nothing wrong with that. It's just concern trolls.
And of course, speaking of concern trolls, whilst they're saying all this about hypothetical things that might happen, they're ignoring that there are people with injuries from Destiny's Church's last protest who actually used violence. There'll be no violence at this unless, for example, a counter protest sets up and there's conflict. But what this is being set up is a day for people to come together that want to defy Destiny. Now, if Destiny Church turn up to counter protest, anything could happen, and just being fair, from either side. Not saying that to support one or the other, in fact, endorse one or the other, but that's the world we live in. If it's left as it is, which is just a group of people, I guess, getting together to defy Destiny, there's not going to be any violence, because who would there be violence against? Because there's not going to be those people there to have violence against or to commit violence. So, but yeah, so thank you very much, ACT. Thank you, David, for letting me know about this. I very much appreciate it, because now I can we can spread the word a bit and hopefully get some live streams going on Sunday afternoon. And if it wasn't for ACT, I might have missed it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Genuine thank you.
I mean,
Yes.
I think one thing, if we're running a tally chart here of violence in the against the queer community or from the queer community, shall we tally up how many queer folk have died at the hands of straight people?
Yep.
Versus how many straight people have died at the hands of the LGBTQI community.
What about we don't even go there? Why don't we just say, like, what about sexual violence, like against small children? Should we tot up the people who are either within Destiny Church who have been convicted of those crimes, or within the Christian church in general? Let's look at the Catholic priests. Let's tot up those. Let's tot up that kind of sexual violence, and then look at, for example, drag queens and see what those numbers are like. Let's look at the history of the Christian church, whether you go back 50, 100, 200 years, and the violence that's committed in the name of the God they pretend to serve, versus the history of the drag community and what they've done. It's like, come on. No,
let's focus. That's too hard. That's too serious. So let us focus on the important issues that somebody put the word bash on a poster. We're talking about the real issues of the day, Pat. We're not here for hypotheticals.
Well, I just think that it's like, sort out the shit in your own house first, people. In fact, there's me, Chewie, and I'm sorry if I sound a bit religious to people now, but I love the conversations, and there's this thing that a lot of church people say where they go, you hate the sinner, but not the sin. No, other way around. You love the sinner. Sorry, you love the sinner and you hate the sin. Meaning,
Destiny were using that phrase. They were misquoting it.
Well, let me explain, right? Very learned people other than me, I'm just stealing it off them. So you love the sinner and hate the sin. So basically what that means is we love everybody, we just don't condone their actions. Now, what the people like Destiny Church don't understand is that's completely unbiblical. So within the Bible, what it tells you to do is love the sinner, that means love everybody, and hate your own sin. Like, there's examples all the way through. There's this bit that they talk about, you don't take a speck of dust out of your neighbour's eye when you've got a plank of wood sticking out of your own. In other words, it's disproportionate what's in your eye compared to them. Leave them alone. There's the one that most people know from their primary school days, which is, he that is without sin cast the first stone. In other words, that's a story about a woman who was a prostitute, and of the era, they were allowed to stone her. The law said they could put her to death. But then the teaching goes, that's right, you can do this. Legally, you're allowed to do this as long as you're all clean. As long as none of you have done anything that could also warrant this punishment. If there's somebody out there that hasn't done things to warrant this punishment, then yeah, go for it. And of course, they all walk away, because it's basically talking about look after your own shit. Look after your own house. Get that all cleaned up first, then you can start worrying about other people. Hereth endeth the sermon. Sorry. What is that?
The Destiny poster. It's got a kid holding his severed head. That says time to kill. So maybe it's all just bullshit and stirring up.
So okay, let's go the other way then. Let's call them AT. All right? These guys are going to bash some people. These guys are going to kill some people. All right, so let's do that. If you want to use the words that are written down, these guys are overtly looking to murder someone. These guys looking to beat someone up. I would still stick with these ones over these ones. I know I'm being ridiculous. They're not meaning that. But if you're going to take it like that, then we're looking at murderers row right here. Supporting people being killed. Yeah, ridiculous. Redonkulous. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
That's true, Justin. That escalated real quick.
Welcome to BHN, where shit can get out of control real quick.
A couple of super chats that have come in. As a female, I hate flow week. Cramps suck. This is Chewie's doing. Tiffany says it's kind of weird how men no sane women would breed with have the most to say about their reproductive health. How men no sane women would breed with have all that to say. Yep. I mean, look at America as a perfect example and what's happened with their their abortion rights and stuff. Supplemental, is the Honourable Mr. Seymour aware that we are currently in the 21st century? It's a very good supplemental. I like that. Good evening. Just a smidge late, says Nick. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate your super chat. Right, don't get violent. We don't like competition, says Tiffany. That's true as well. And you guys are, there's another one from Tiffany. We'll go there as well. Clearly, no one in that church had studied theology. Yeah, I think that's what you'll find with most of these religious organizations, especially amongst the Christian church, that lean towards conservative. They don't know about that socialist they follow called Jesus. That guy that hung out with the most vulnerable and spent 3 years on a camping trip with people who were cast out of society, whilst all the church people, all the Brian Tarmakers of the world, sat up in the temple and judged what he was supposedly doing, if you believe the stories.
Yeah, it's just silly. He had no plans to monetize it. People had to do that later.
Yeah, so weird. So weird.